Dear students, now you will see very important part in this chapter, and it is nothing but it is Raoult's law. So children, you have seen Henry law. Now I am going to explain about Raoult's law. So Raoult's law is a very important law, and it explains a lot about the behavior and the properties of solutions. So first I am going to explain about the solutions containing volatile solvent. So according to this law, a solution containing volatile component. Volatile component means the components, that is the solute and solvent, both are easily converted into vapors. So that is the volatile component. Volatile components have the vapor pressure directly proportional. It is directly proportional. The vapor pressure means vapor pressure of the components which are volatile, is directly proportional to their mole fractions. So if the two components are volatile and the components A and B, we can have solute as A and solvent as B. So if we have two components A and B, for example, if we have two components A and B, and so let A be the solute and B be the solvent. Now the vapor pressure, let P be the vapor pressure, or it may be called a partial vapor pressure, means of individual components. So PA, it is directly proportional to XA. The partial vapor pressure of component A is directly proportional to mole fraction of A, and the partial vapor pressure of component B will be then directly proportional to mole fraction of component B. So this is the starting point of ideal, so this Raoult's law, or we can say that for a solution containing volatile components, the partial vapor pressure will be directly proportional to the mole fraction of the different components. So it can be written as PA is directly proportional to XA, and this sign of proportionality, it can be removed by introducing a constant, and see the constant. So it may be written PA, it is equal to PA naught into XA. This PA naught, it is the vapor pressure of pure component A. So here you write PA naught, vapor pressure of pure A. A can be solute, A can be solvent. It is our own interpretation. Now similarly, PB will be directly proportional to XB, or it can be written PB is equal to PA naught into XB. Similarly here, PB naught will be vapor pressure of pure component B. So this is there. Now this is the point. Both the components are volatile. That is, they can be converted into vapor pressure. So the total pressure P here, P total means the vapor pressure due to both components. It will be equal to the sum of PA and PB. So this is the Raoult's law for solution containing volatile components. So what we can say that the total vapor pressure due to the two components will be equal to the vapor pressure of component A and vapor pressure of component B. And so this is all about the Raoult's law containing volatile components. Now one more point in this, for a binary solution, this is a standard point. It is related to the Raoult's law. For a binary solution, the mole fraction of the component A and B, it is always equal to 1. For a binary solution, the mole fraction of the two components, it is always equal to 1. Now it can be represented graphically in the following manner. Suppose we draw graph, and here we have the, on this axis we have the mole fraction. We have the mole fraction on this axis, mole fraction, and so this axis is the mole fraction, and here we have the vapor pressure of one component, here we have vapor pressure of other component. Now as the two components XA and XB, so here let be the XA is equal to 1, here XB is equal to 1. It means, you know, this still point, XA plus XB is equal to 1, and so here it means if XA is equal to 1, so here XB is equal to 0, and here XA will be equal to 0 from this data. So here, as this mole fraction is of A only, component A only, so let the vapor pressure, certain vapor pressure, this indicates the vapor pressure, the vapor pressure, that is PA naught, the vapor pressure of component A. And let here there be the, on this, the vapor pressure due to component, pure component B. Let's write here more clearly. So this is PB. Now as you know, total pressure, what we say, that total pressure P is equal to PA plus PB. So here we write, so thus the resultant vapor pressure will be here. So this total vapor pressure P will be equal to PA and PB. Then similarly it can be expanded. That P will be equal to, so here PA naught XA, then here PB naught XB. So this is the, you know, validation. This is the validation for the Raoult's law containing volatile components. So simply what we can say, when a solution contains volatile components, the total vapor pressure is equal to the sum of vapor pressure of all the components or both the components. Now I am going to take next part of the Raoult's law, and this second portion, it is for the solutions containing non-volatile solute. So previously we have seen the solution containing volatile components. So now this is for solution containing one non-volatile component. Means one component is non-volatile, so other must be volatile. So this is there. So we can draw like this. Here children, see very carefully. I am drawing here. Let there be the beaker or let be any vessel, and here I am drawing a few molecules. Here the three, and here other case here, and here I am drawing again the three. Now see, in this case here I am going to color it. This difference here I have created, that this indicates, let the index be, this is the index, this is non-volatile, this is non-volatile component, this is non-volatile component, and here this white, it is volatile component. Now, any liquid starts boiling when the vapor pressure becomes equal to atmospheric pressure. Liquid starts boiling when the vapor pressure becomes equal to atmospheric pressure. Now here, this is the figure 1 and this is the figure 2. Now first take the case of figure 2. So here the three components, let this be on the surface, this be on the surface. They are indicating the surface layer. So here all the components, 3 is the symbolic. So here all the components are volatile. So here there will be 100% contribution. In the second case, there will be 100% contribution of the molecules at the surface, and so here the vapor pressure will be same. The vapor pressure will be same and there will be no change. So this is at par with the first case, that is the solution containing both the components volatile. So this is there, no change. So here this P, total vapor pressure, P will be equal to PA plus PB. This is there. Now this is very important point to note, that here the vapor pressure will be only due to the component which is volatile, and so this purple will not contribute toward the vapor pressure. So what will happen? In this condition, the vapor pressure will be much less. Vapor pressure will be much less in the first case. So here we have to heat the solution more so as to boil, because solution boils only when the vapor pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure. So in this condition, Raoult's law states that for a solution containing non-volatile component, the vapor pressure is lower down. There is lowering in the vapor pressure, and the lowering in vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of non-volatile component. Raoult's law for solution containing non-volatile component. So it states that when a solution containing non-volatile component, the lowering in lowering in vapor pressure. Lowering in vapor pressure means there is the experience in the vapor pressure. Lowering in vapor pressure of the solution. Lowering in vapor pressure of the solution will be equal to the mole fraction of non-volatile component. So it will be equal to the non-volatile component, because when the component is non-volatile, so it will not contribute towards the vapor pressure. Once again I am repeating, when one component is non-volatile, so it will not going to contribute toward the vapor pressure, and so in that condition the solution will have the less vapor pressure. So on combining this with the equation 1 and this with the equation 2, so on combining the equations 1 and 2, so here this vapor pressure due to component 1, it will be 1 minus xb into Pa naught, and so accordingly it will be multiplied. So this will be equal to Pa naught minus P naught into this xb. We can write like this. It will be equal to x, or it can be written due to multiplication also. It can be written in other way also, and so xb or xb Pa naught, xb Pa naught, xb Pa naught, this value, and so it will be equal to Pa naught minus P, or on our aim is to find out the lowering in vapor pressure, and it will be equal to the mole fraction of non-volatile component. So this, as it is non-volatile, so this xb, it will be equal to this Pa naught minus P upon Pa naught. See here, this, or xb, the mole fraction of xb will be equal to Pa naught minus P upon Pa naught. So at the last we can sum up in the following manner, that xb will be equal to Pa naught minus Pa upon Pa naught. So xb, let xb be the non-volatile component, and so this total value, this is the relative lowering in vapor pressure, and this upper component, it is called as lowering in vapor pressure. So what is clear? It is clear that for a solution containing non-volatile component, the relative lowering, this is the relative lowering in vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of non-volatile component. So we can say in the last, so for a solution containing non-volatile component, the relative lowering, we may write down RL, relative lowering in vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of non-volatile component. So this justifies that the solution containing non-volatile component, the relative lowering in vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of non-volatile component. So this upper component is lowering in vapor pressure, and by dividing with this pure, it gives the relative lowering in vapor pressure. So for a solution containing non-volatile component, the relative lowering in vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of non-volatile component. So this is the last part of the Raoult's law for a solution containing non-volatile component. So this is all about the Raoult's law.